Hey guys, this is Joshua, Fisher for Mega 3940 Reviews, watch top movies, TV, and music. Welcome to my channel. Brand new year means brand, and this is one of two 2022 movies I've yet to review, and this is going to be my thoughts on the 355. This is a spy film directed by Simon Kinberg, starring Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, Fan Bingbing, Diane Kruger, and Lupita Nyong'o. This came out last weekend, with a screenplay by Teresa Rebeck and Simon Kinberg from a story written by her. This is going to be in audio format, and you'll have to excuse my voice. It's a little cracky, a little bit. I've been dealing with a cold for the last few days. There's not going to be any spoilers at all, so I'm just going to go and talk about this. In the 355, CIA agent Mace Brown joins forces with a rival German agent, a cutting-edge computer specialist, and a Colombian psychologist when the top-secret weapon falls into the hands of a group of mercenaries. Together, the four women embark on a breakneck mission to save the world while staying one step ahead of a mysterious figure who's tracking their every single individual mood. Yes, it is by the numbers. It is pretty much what you expect. It's just the typical spy thing. But let's talk about it. Let's break this down. Going into the 355, I was actually pretty interested to see how this would turn out. It is, of course, a spy film with a bunch of female characters, and I am a sucker for those. I like the spy genre, and this is Simon Kinberg's second directorial effort, after which I have previously said multiple times I was not a fan of Dark Phoenix. I found it to be a very frustrating finale of the X-Men series, and that says a lot coming from an X-Men fan like myself, because there's potential there, but it just was not met, and it left me very disappointed.
Not impressed.
But even with my frustrations on Dark Phoenix, and even my frustrations with the director, I still took a look at these trailers, and as a fan of movies with strong female characters like Kill Bill and Underworld and The Hunger Games and even the Wonder Woman movies, and I still went into these pretty optimistic, but I was a little skeptical. Gunpowder Milkshake from last year, I did have fun with it for the most part. I felt it had issues that can be fixed with its upcoming sequel, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So, and you have a great cast of actors. You have Fan Bingbing, Jessica Chastain, Diane Kruger, Lupita Nyong'o, and Penelope Cruz. So, with those talents, as well as the talents of Sebastian Stan, I was willing to give this movie a shot. But I was still pretty skeptical about this for reasons, because of, will this be another train wreck, or will this be the disaster? Or would this actually be a surprise? And I saw some of the reviews, and I still went into it pretty optimistic, and these are my thoughts. Starting off with my positives as usual, easily the best thing that does hold this movie together is the cast. The cast of actors, great talented people here, and they are what holds this movie together 100%. They are the main reasons to watch this, and if it hadn't been for the cast, then I don't think I would easily be watching it. Mainly because, as I said earlier, my frustrations with the director Simon Kinberg and his last movie, but I was willing enough to give it a chance. So, obviously, this cast is pretty huge, so let's break this down and talk about them one by one. Obviously, I want to start off this cast by talking about Jessica Chastain, who plays Mace, and Obviously, Jessica Chastain is a fantastic actress. She's an Oscar nominee. You've seen her in so many movies, so many TV shows. Recently, The Eyes of Tammy Faye and Secrets of a Marriage. And this is her second time working with Simon Kinberg, as she worked with him in Dark Phoenix, which was not her fault. But every time I see Jessica Chastain in something, she has that Karen Gillan effect. No matter what movie Karen is in, just much like Jessica, even if the movie is bad, they can try and bring something to it always. I didn't like The Huntsman Winter's War, but I thought she was one of the few good things in that film, and she was fun, she was a kick-ass character, and I enjoyed her. And while I would definitely put Ava over this, I will say she was pretty badass in that movie as well. She got to be fun, she got to just show a different side of her acting. Here in this role, once again, just like Ava, you get to see her being attractive, of course, very sexy, very badass, and she's having a lot of fun in her role, and she does a pretty good job in the her role for the most part. And I definitely liked her performance. She's very charismatic, and she's also pretty beautiful to look at throughout this entire movie. So here are the memes to express.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, okay. BAM! What?
Damn!
Next up, we have Penelope Cruz, who is another very talented actress, very also Oscar winner herself. You've seen her in stuff like Vicky Cristina Barcelona, Blow, Gothica, which was the first movie I ever saw her in, Pirates of the Caribbean 4, and her role in this movie as Graciela Rivera. She's a Colombian DNI agent and psychologist. And I gotta say, she was pretty damn fun to watch. She's very attractive as well. There is a little bit of Spanish with her in the movie, but that is to be expected as she is a Latina actress and she's very fun in her role as well. I very much enjoyed her. Lupita Nyong'o, of course, from Black Panther, and she is awesome. She is a great actress, obviously. Oscar winner from 12 Years a Slave. She's amazing. She's fantastic. Always a great actress in everything she's in. Jordan Peele's Us is no exception. I felt she should have been nominated for that. Here she is once again pretty badass. She's pretty great in the role. She is playing a British spy, but I think she does a really great job playing a former MI6 agent and computer specialist. And she brought her skills to the test. So Lupita Nyong'o, and also she does get to whoop that ass as well. Next up is Diane Kruger. Yep, she plays a rival German B&D agent named Marie, and when it comes to Diane Kruger as an actress, I've always found her beautiful. I've always thought she was a little underrated. And it's good that you get to see her in this movie, and this movie does get to use her abilities as well, and she is a lot of fun in the movie as well, and she is fun. She's awesome. She's kick-ass. I thought her performances are really well, and she is absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing, and she just owns every second that she's in. But we gotta get to gorgeous Asian Fan Bingbing. Of course, is Lin Mi Shang. She's a mysterious MSS agent tracking the team's every move, and Fan Bingbing is a gorgeous Chinese actress. Of course, Asian, respect the Asian community, of course. She is beautiful, she is incredible, for what I've seen, and she does a pretty damn good job. And I remember her from X-Men Days of Future Past. She played Blink in that movie. Covering your eyes. So it was great seeing her here once again. I thought she was a lot of fun to see. Obviously, it's great seeing her. I thought she was fun to see, and she was so cool in her role. She does track down the team's every move, but she decides to help the team, of course, but for her own personal reasons. And all 5 of these actresses, they work very well with each other. I was very impressed with the way they were working with each other. They all brought their A game. They had great camaraderie with each other. And while Fan Bingbing doesn't come in until later on in the movie, her entrance and the chemistry between these girls, I thought are very fine. Very entertaining and very charismatic to see. So I very much enjoyed that aspect as well. I thought they were absolutely incredible. And they just brought it. They just brought it. That's what I like about the performances. So if I have to choose standouts of the movie, I obviously have 3 standouts. Number 1, of course, is Jessica Chastain. Obviously, it's Jessica Chastain. You can't say no.
Yes!
Penelope Cruz's Graciela is my second standout. She is incredible.
Bam! What?
And I can't help but show love for the lovely, gorgeous Fan Bingbing. She is incredible, and I have one word to describe her. All 5 of these girls, attractive, they kick ass, they're fun, and they do a great job in their roles. The rest of the cast includes Edgar Ramirez and Sebastian Stan. All of the rest of those actors, I think all the rest of them are very great too. I think they all do great with what they have to do. Now I want to talk about a little bit of the action scenes, because mostly for what you can see of the action, I think the action scenes are decently shot when it's not shaking the camera. You do have nice high frame rate. They have a sense of intensity and vulnerability and brutality to them. For a PG-13, despite this movie not being rated R, I definitely have to say that definitely goes into play. There's also some nice moments with each of the women of the 355. They do have some very fun moments. Sebastian Stan is very fun in his role, but I think each of the girls in this movie are really cool. The cinematography is beautiful. It's a very visually looking film. You can see what's going on. It mostly with the action scenes, the technical close-ups and the camera angles are very well shot. There is even some intense moments with some of these girls that are pretty intense. There's one scene with Jessica Chastain where she has to climb up on top of this building. It did give me a sense of Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol vibes, and the shootouts, the fight choreography, these girls trained their asses off. So it's no secret why they definitely inspired. And I definitely that the score by Tom Hulkenberg is also really good too. I like the score. It's very adrenaline filled and it's very fun to listen to. I do love that score. So the score definitely does live up to what you expect it to be. And I will say, for a movie that is basically the tried and true spy stuff, it does get you in and out, and it knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to be a high art movie. It's not trying to be Oscar worthy. It just wants to be a fun movie, despite some of the problems that this movie may have, which I'll get into. And for the most part, I think you've succeeded at that. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever, but I definitely did feel like they tried more than they failed. And I will say the movie, it tried to do what it set out to do. So while this movie definitely has its issues, which I'm about to get into, I definitely can say that I feel like the movie knows exactly what it is trying to do. And it just works. Sadly, I do have issues with this movie. One, I think this movie definitely could use a better script. So, I feel like the script is not the greatest. There are some good dialogue moments here, but there are quite a couple times watching this movie where some of the dialogue is very corny, very clicky, and very glitchy in some of it, the dialogue. And I wish that some of this dialogue was kind of fixed. I do feel like the dialogue it was not the greatest there. I feel like they should have just fixed up the dialogue in a lot of areas. Also, I will say the movie is a little bit long. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes, so it is fast paced for the most part. But I feel like there were some parts in this movie that were pretty boring. And the second act does suffer a little bit for some of its slow pacing. Despite the action being there, I definitely do feel like you could have fixed up that slow pace a little bit. This could have easily been 105 minutes or something with some of that slow pacing. I am going to say, despite his direction being better, which I will compliment, his direction is a little bit better, way better here than was Dark Phoenix, because at least not a big budget film. I definitely have to say, when it comes to cinematography in this film, the cinematography at times is a little dodgy, because sometimes the main thing I have a problem with some of this action is there's a little bit too much shaky cam, and I do wish that some of that shaky cam could have easily been avoided. Obviously, it could have been avoided. And it's not as bad as movies, which I do like those sequels, but they did get a little bit overcrowded. And it's not as bad as last year's Snake Eyes, but I felt like that if you would just tone down on some of that shaky camness and just went for a more natural like feel with the action scenes, I felt like you could have done a bit better. And I definitely did wanted some character develop, a little bit more characterization out of some of these girls. Jessica Chastain, you know who she is, her character, what she's doing. Lupita Nyong'o, you get to know a little bit about her. And Penelope Cruz, I did get to know a little bit more about her. When it comes to Diane Kruger and Fan Bingbing, their performances are great. I just wish they had a little bit more to work off of when it comes to character development. I'm not expecting an Oscar winner, okay? But if you're gonna have a series of spy girls fighting, just like in Gunpowder Milkshake, which I definitely enjoy, and I do enjoy this more of the same, despite its issues and not being an amazing film. I felt like if you're going to do that, I felt like you should just had more of a reasoning for characters to actually care about some of these guys, the ones that you don't get to know much of. But those are just some of the issues I have that I feel like with another rewrite and fixing some of the camera stuff with the mainly with the shaky cam, I think this would be actually gotten a way better rating. All in all, the 355 is not gonna be known as an Oscar-worthy movie. It's not the greatest movie out there, and it's definitely not the best movie of 2022. As of course, I did feel like the shaky cam is a bit too much, and I will say I could use some more characterization, and the story is basically by the numbers that you've seen this done before. But I think 355 is at least an entertaining if flawed film. This is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. So yeah, the first guilty pleasure of 2022. I like the performances. I think Simon Kinberg tries, but there's still some room for improvement. But honestly, if I'm being honest, he should kind of sit to producing unless someone else directed stuff. But the 355 is a decent watch, and I'm gonna say you could stream this thing. So those are my thoughts on the 355. What did you guys think of it in the comment section down below? What did you guys think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Be honest. Let's have a friendly, epitastic conversation as always. All my social media links in the description box down below, as well as my Discord, as well as my Amazon wishlist, my Chime. So if you like, and Cash App. So if you be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when news videos like this are up. There's going to be a lot more content coming with my review of Scream 5, Hotel Transylvania, and the Harry Potter Return of Hogwarts and stuff. I'll see you guys for those. Bye bye. Oh, and as always, you guys keep it cool, join the Epictasticness, and I'll see you guys for more future content. It's going to be fun talking about some 2022 movies. Good, bad, ugly, and TV shows. And some stuff in the middle.